So today I'm going to talk you through a pull day of my push-pull leg split. Last video was a push day, next video will be a leg day, but this video is the pull day. So let's get into it. I started on wide grip lat pull downs. So this session is going to be a lat focused session because I feel like when I look at my back, lats is the lagging area, especially width. I have good thickness, I have good spinal erectors, and I had good shoulder blades, but I would like to add more width there. So I've gone for wide grip lat pull downs to focus on more shoulder abduction, which basically just means bringing your arm to your side from wide. So gone heavy on that, 6 to 10 reps, and I hit a PB there, 87 kilo. Probably looking back, I could get another rep, but a PB is a PB. After that, I hit a single arm cable row. I like to get single arm version in for lats because I feel like it helps you get, well, it does, doesn't matter how I feel, it does help you get your arm right around your body. With a barbell, you're fixed up here, but if you go single arm, you can twist slightly and get your elbow right behind your body, which helps engage that lat. So I've gone for single arm on a cable because I feel like the cable, again, I don't know how I feel, the cable does carry over better to when I eventually go back to using two hands more than a dumbbell will do. Third was wide grip pull-ups. I went for pull-ups because they are by far the best back builder. If I could only do one exercise, it would be a pull-up. Wide grip, again, for the shoulder adduction, bringing the arm into the body. And I've done it with the rings because the rings allow your wrist to twist better. And with a straight bar, you actually end up in a position like that, which is why most bars are bent in the first place, to protect your wrist. So considering that bar doesn't have it, I've done it on rings and it allows my wrist to rotate naturally. And I end up in that position more than I would do in that position. Moving on to upper back, the next exercise was the T-bar row. Again, probably the best upper back exercise. Pull-ups, best back builder in general. T-bar row, the best upper back builder. I've hit this exercise, again, 6 to 10 reps. Like most things, 6 to 10, 6 to 12. Never really go above 15 reps. That's just how I like to train. And it's stretch focused. Stretch focused, so the last few reps you can tell they're a little bit sloppy, but I'm pausing in that stretch position and making the most of the stretch. The weighted stretch is what's growing the traps here more than the contraction. Moving on to isolations now, I started with the T-bar row shrug. So when it comes to shrugs, I like to mix up my variations. I switch between the T-bar row, dumbbells, and the trap bar deadlift bar that fixes your arms next to your body like that, and then you end up shrugging up. I'll put a video on the screen. I've gone for this one because it's already on the T-bar row and I've not done it in a while, so I just shrug it out, 10 to 15 reps. I'll tend to go higher rep with shrugs. There's no point in hitting 6 rep max in my opinion, because it's not about 6 rep maxes with isolations, it's about isolating the muscle. If I went really heavy on that, I may end up just causing unnecessary fatigue or getting other muscles involved. When it comes to isolations, I always think pick a weight where you can actually isolate the muscle you're trying to target. Next, I did a superset between rear delt flies and incline hammer curls. So again, with these isolations, I tend to keep rear delt flies in, but the rest of the isolations, as in biceps, I'll just rotate between the exercises. Today I went for incline hammer curls. I like to get a hammer in and a supinated grip in. Not necessary, but I do like to do that. I think it's a good combination. Hammer curls are stretch focused, and rear delts aren't actually a priority for me, but it's good to just get them in there. And I prefer to do them on pull days because there's less carryover to a pushing day. If you do rear delts on a push day, I feel like going into the pull day, you have a little bit of soreness up there, which is not ideal when you're trying to hit PBs. So I tend to do them on pull day and isolate them. And the very last exercise I did to finish off this pull day was spider curls. So I've hit biceps in the lengthen range already by doing hammer curls. I am now going to hit them in the shorten range by doing spider curls. It's not necessary that you have to hit them both in the short and lengthened, but I actually already had a high amount of high amount of soreness, a good amount of soreness from doing preacher curls a few days before. So I felt like hitting more length and range work wasn't quite necessary here, and getting a good squeeze and a good pump with spider curls was more beneficial. So I did that instead. And that was my first set, but on my second set I ended up hitting the 17.5s, which again is new weight for me. So that's why I like to rotate between exercise and go off by feel, because otherwise if I'd stuck to preacher curls, I most likely wouldn't have increased my weight because I still had soreness from the exercise. But when I rotate back to the spider curls, I'm able to do new weight. So I think that exercise rotation is key and is probably underspoken about in the fitness industry. Maybe that's because people don't know how to implement it that well, or it's more complicated, or it just doesn't get very many clicks. But yes, I think exercise rotation is important. Anyway, that caps off my video. I hope it helps. I hope it gives you an insight into how I train. Again, this is 2 sets for every exercise. I tend to keep volume pretty low, but as you can see, there's multiple exercises, so the total volume isn't that low. I just think with back, it's better to have more variation and fewer sets, since there's so many muscles back there, than it is to pick 3 exercises and go for more sets. There's too many muscles to miss out, so I'd rather keep the sets low and the variation high. But that concludes everything, and hopefully I'll see you for the leg session. Take care. Goodbye.